outside Long Island. That's Tommy Byrnes.
When I was a kid, all I ever wanted to do was play in a band. I joined bands, I started bands, I played in every hole-in-the-wall bar on the South Shore of Long Island. 1981, I was living in London with my band from Long Island, BMTs. We ended up being the Great Bo Diddley's backup band. We recorded a song with him called I Don't Know Where I've Been. Kind of the story of my life. Back in New York, I got a call from a band that had met on Long Island that got the opening act gig for Van Halen's 1984 tour. I got pummeled with everything from toilet paper to loose change. I think somebody actually threw a crutch at me. Brian Setzer was one of my guitar heroes. He used to come down and sit in with us with BMTs all the time. When he called me and asked me to join the Stray Cats for their last tour, I was absolutely floored. I met Sarah Dane. I was playing down on Bleecker Street. She came up and invited me to a party. It was a video release party for a song called Tell It to My Heart. She wanted to put a band together. She needed a guitar player. I listened to the rest of the record. With this great guitar player, Bob Cadwick. His guitar solos were so inspiring. I took the gig immediately. Then I met Brian Rhodes. Everything changed. I was playing with some friends down at the Freeport Boat Show, and Brian and I were introduced. Brian wanted me to meet Billy Joel, and the next thing I knew, I was on the Stonefront tour. At the Stonefront, I got a call from Joan Jett, the hardest rockin' woman on the planet. We toured the States for a year in support of her record, Notorious. When I got back home, Billy called, had some ideas for a new record called The River of Dreams. But for the River of Dreams World Tour, we did the face-to-face tour with Elton John. 12 Gardens Live, a Broadway show called Moving Out, and because of Billy, I got to play with so many of my iconic heroes. So fortunate to be able to play with so many different artists. I've learned so much from every one of them. I thank all of them for every opportunity that I've had and more blessings than I can count. Well, let it be, let it be. And I want to thank you, Billy, and just say, it's been an honor to be your hired gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Billy Joel.
Thank you. This is fun. Tommy Byrnes, I gotta say, Tommy Byrnes has the best ear of any musician I have ever known. When he comes out, I want him to show you his ear. He really does have an incredible ear. When he first joined our circus in the early 90s, I was amazed how many songs he could just play right off the cuff. Anytime someone in the band would mention an obscure record, Tommy instantly started to play the chord progression. And usually, in the right key. This is a real gift, considering that this guy comes with all the prerequisite afflictions that are part of the rock and roll guitar thingy since Keith Richards wrote the book, including the many ways that important brain cells are destroyed by living that lifestyle. Somehow, Tommy Byrnes has managed to preserve his musical memory, which is astounding. You can name a song, Tommy can play it. He doesn't know who the President of the United States is anyway. Well, you probably don't. You voted for him. Sometimes he's an asshole. Anyway, this is a Long Island night, okay? So, keyboard players like myself and guitarists are traditionally found at the polar opposite ends of personality. Not so with Tommy and myself. Often, we can end each other's sentences with the same words. I don't know how that works. He plays guitar, but he thinks like a piano player. He can even play the piano really pretty well, which impresses me because I can't play guitar for shit. You could say it's a reverse case of penis envy. And he sings. He sings in tune. I know because they put you in my monitor. You don't know that. But I can hear you sing and you're in tune. Incredible. He's a South Shore guy. So he's more New Jersey than New England. Which gives him the rough edge which is mandatory for any good rock and roll guitarist. And even though his hairline now is in full retreat, he still manages to wave that flag on stage. He gets away with it. He gets more screams than anybody on stage. They see me and they go, ah. They see Tommy and they go, ah! Pisses me off. He can play every Beatles song that was ever recorded, which comes in handy because we start harmonizing after a particularly enjoyable show. He usually brings his guitar with him. He's brought that damn guitar to every bar in Ireland that we ever ended up drinking in. And there it is, and then boom, there we go, off on a Beatlemania harmony gig, which screws up my throat for the next gig. So we're not going to do that tonight because I got a show on Saturday. Let's see. So please, Tommy, don't do that tonight. Okay. This is a guy, it's called the Hired Gun. Okay, this is the Hired Gun Award. Really? Okay. This is a guy, I can rely on him to play exactly the right thing at the right time, all the time, which for me is precisely what a hired gun is hired to do. Except Tommy's not a gun, he's a fucking howitzer. I'm very lucky to have him in my band, and I'm very pleased to induct him into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame. Please give it up for Tommy Byrnes.
Wow. What do I say after that? Billy Joel, everybody, come on. Let me move this up to normal person's height. Thank you, that's good. can see it. Are you gonna stand? Are you gonna sit there while I do this? All right, well, it says here, don't try and be funny, just say thank you and smile. So I'm gonna do that. To my parents, who I know would be very proud, for keeping music alive in our house. My dad with his mandolin and my mom who loved to sing. Together they taught me so many old standards like 5'2", Dogtown Strutter's Ball, and way too many Irish and Italian songs. I think my first hired gig was with my dad. I was about 9 years old, and we played the VFW Hall in Wimbrook at a St. Paddy's Day party. Brian, that explains a lot, doesn't it? To my brothers and my sister, most of them who are here today, bringing home the music of Creedence, The Rascals, Simon and Garfunkel, the Beatles, and so many other great artists. Thank you for letting me play your records. I'm not giving you shit about it. Mostly to my brother Eddie, who's here tonight, I know, played me Johnny Winter. 10 years after the Allman Brothers, Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, Carlos Santana. That's when things began to change for me. I remember his friends would come over and they would bring albums to the house, and we would listen to new bands like Yes and Chicago. And I was privileged to listen to them with them as a kid, and Terry Kath and Steve Howe, Al DiMeo, John McLaughlin, so many guitar players changed my life. Thank you, Ed, for bringing that into the house. Thank you to my incredible wife of over 30 years. This never happens in this business. I love you. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, you should stand up for that shit. Your constant support, your strength, your love, and most of all, your patience has had everything to do with the career that I've had. And it wouldn't have happened without you. You know that. I'd probably be dead. You save my life every day. And by the way, thank you for turning me on to Zeppelin, Aerosmith, T-Rex, Bowie, and Queen, who I kind of missed growing up. Thank you to my beautiful children, TJ and Bonnie. You're the most fun I've ever had, and have made me the proudest I've ever been. I love making music with both of you, and it's you guys who bring new music into the house right now, and thank you for that. Sorry for all the missed birthdays and graduations, if you had any. To my teachers, the great Al Lanza and the incredible Joe Natoli. Thank you, Joe, for showing me how to listen better to what I play and showing me how to slow down my vibrato. That was important in a lot of ways. To everyone who kept me going during the downtime, Cano, Paisano, Yui, Louie, Phil, and more than one guy named Tony. Thank you. To John Scarpool and the incredible band. Johnny had so much to do with this. To all the wonderful artists from Long Island that I've been able to work with. Brian Setzer, Taylor Dane, Joan Jett, and of course the great Billy Joel. I've learned so much from all of you. Thank you. To Billy's band, the greatest band I'll ever be in. Thank you, Crystal, Mark, David, Andy, Chuck, Carl, Mike. Together we create a place where the likes of Springsteen and McCartney can walk on stage confident that we are going to play the shit out of their shit. I want to thank Max Lubier for planning this fucking wedding. I want to thank Noel Rush for letting me crash on his couch during all the moving out years. I'd like to thank all of Billy's crew, but there's like a million of them now. I'd like to thank Dennis Offer for booking Billy well into his hundreds. I'd like to thank Todd Camelhar, who's here tonight, for paying me every 2 weeks. Thank you, Todd. I'd like to thank Boomer, Vinny, and Liz for heading up the best production team out there. Steve Cohen for lighting up most of my guitar solos. Chainsaw for having my back for nearly 30 years and always making me feel like the most important person on stage. Aww. Thank you, Chainsaw. And thank you to Mike Rizal, Billy Zampino for getting me to go where I need to go, Mark Snyder for being Chainsaw's 10th toe, Michael, that's a little inside thing, Mike Covano, Wayno, Teddy, Lucas Thrasher for keeping the guys who have way too much gear happy, Claire Mercury for making Glenn Gamboa say nice things about me for the past month, and to, of course, Brian Ruggles, who had enough confidence in me to bring me into Billy's band, for thinking I had something to offer his music all those years ago. Thank you, BR. I love you. To Billy Joel, who's breathing down my fucking neck, for your incredible generosity, for your brilliant songs, for your flexibility towards the band plays them, for always being there for me when I needed you. Thank you for a truly life-changing gig. And finally, almost finally, for the people of Long Island, for harboring an environment where music thrives, with a deep well of talent and seemingly bottomless reservoir of musicians fill the stages of New York's Broadway theaters, venues like Radio City, Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and Madison Square Garden, where hip-hop, rap, jazz, pop, rock and roll, and R&B will always have a home. Thank you, Jim Faith and the Long Island Music Hall of Fame, for considering me for this award and deeming me worthy of it. I accept it on behalf of all the hired guns out there, whether they're asleep in the back of a van, a tour bus, or passed out in the first class seat of a red eye. Right, this is where I get like poetic and shit. It's good. I like this one. My career has grown like a family tree where all limbs lead back to Long Island. I am forever grateful for that. Thank you all so much.